We're covering Intel, we're covering Bernanke, we're covering GDP, we're covering recession. We're also covering the EPA. It begins hearings next week on whether to classify the residue from coal burned to make electricity as a hazardous waste. Joining the company now is Tom Borelli, a senior fellow with the conservative think tank, the National Center for Public Policy Research. Tom, in a nutshell, they want to regulate the ash that you get after burning coal to make juice?
That's exactly right. They want to regulate the ash. We have to view this in a larger perspective. This is part of Obama's war on fossil fuels. Let's remember, he has the EPA regulating carbon emissions. With the oil leak in the Gulf, he has a moratorium on drilling, which killed 23,000 jobs. And this is the next wave in
What's
this effort.
the problem with ash? What's bad about it?
Well, it does contain toxic elements, but that's nobody questions that. The question is who gets to regulate, the federal government, the way Obama likes it, or the state government. And the federal regulations, they think it will cost up to $20 billion.
But everybody wants to make sure that these toxic elements of ash don't get out into the water supply or into the air.
Absolutely.
But the Obama administration wants to make sure of that. I mean, that's a legitimate thing, though.
Yeah, but so do states. I mean, it's a regulatory overreach once again. I mean, it's the same movie. We've been here before. What Obama has is a war on fossil fuels. He wants to drive his renewable energy agenda, and this is a job killer. 85% of our energy comes from fossil fuels. Coal provides 50% of electricity. Our electricity rates here in New York are twice as high as they're in Indiana. The reason is coal. If
you go with this restrictions on this ash, the price of electricity goes up?
Oh, sure. Regulations and more job losses. There was an estimate of $20 billion extra cost.
Yeah, go on.
I just wanted to ask, because to me, this really sends a different message. If the EPA does rule this in this way, does that suggest then that they will take cap and trade and go ahead and enforce certain rules with or without Congress?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what the EPA is doing now. They want to regulate carbon emissions.
Right, but could we get cap and trade even if there's a sweep in November? Will the EPA, through, will it just sidestep Congress?
They're going to regulate their after carbon in any way, shape, or form they can get it. And that's what they're up to, but it's going to cost jobs.
So cap and trade's not off the table?
Oh, no, not all. They still want to regulate.
Administratively, as opposed to legislatively.
Administratively, they can regulate carbon emissions through the EPA. Yeah, they're doing that now. They still may try to get cap and trade, still regulating carbon emissions during the lame duck session. We have to worry about that.
But you could get a version of cap and trade administratively.
Right,
you could
absolutely.
Cap carbon dioxide administratively. Forget the Republican sweep.
You don't even need the trade part. They just, regulate. And it's going to cost, energy prices go up, jobs go down. It's pretty simple.
All right. Thank you very much, Tom Borelli. We appreciate you coming by.
Thanks for having me.
Intel. First it was halted, then it opened, then it halted